Hey guys, Mature Woman here. It's been a while since I posted a new video, I will admit that. However, I'm back, and part of the fun of me posting so infrequently is my YouTube channel is basically just documenting my aging process. So every video you can see life chip a bit more of me, you know? And I think that's really magical. So today I'm going to be painting Lady Dimitrescu and her dragon form, and you think she looks kind of weird, you're not sure what's going on. The style is based on the comics that I do, featuring her and a bunch of other Resident Evil characters. If you'd like to read them, I'll link it below. I recommend it because I'm the artist who draws them. Okay, let's see how this goes. Yo, if I sound like shit during this video, I apologise. I have really, really bad hay fever right now. And I'm trying to fight through it. I'm trying to be professional. But yeah, no, I sound a little bit funny. More than usual. I know I'm British. So the first stage is the pencil. The first stage is the pencil, but I never film it because the pencil stage, I feel like people would find it really boring. And like the penciling stage, I take so long with it, like half the video would just be me penciling, rubbing out, slightly tweaking, more penciling, and it's not as dramatic to watch as when you add ink. So all the inks I'm using are waterproof, so when I add water like this, it all stays in the same place. It's really kind of fun. So when you add water first to the page, it makes it damp obviously, so then when you add ink, it sort of spreads better, it's less stiff, and then you just basically add darker and darker ink on top of it. And it just sort of bleeds out in a really kind of cool gothic way. Because what I want to do later on is I want to add a bunch of bright colours, but the dark border sort of keeps it grounded, if that makes sense. Also, one thing to note, the dragon in the background is with like a light brown, reddish pen, because I wanted, if they're two different colours, it sort of helps them stand out, it gives it a bit of depth. Fun fact about this stage is ages ago, I posted the black and white version of this before I painted it. And people like assumed it was finished, and they were like really complimentary and like saying, "Oh, it's fine the way it is." I don't know, it's nice, but it also just shows like the power of ink. Really, like I think people do like this sort of like textured shading effect. And what I'm doing now is I'm doing like a light. What I do is I do like watered down ink and then treat that like shading. So when I paint over it, as you can see, like on her dress, it's got like watered down ink. So when I paint over it, it's already shaded. And it's a good way of avoiding layering paint too much, because if you do too many watercolour layers, it starts to disperse, it gets a bit groggy, it doesn't look as nice, whereas ink gives it that shading without overworking the paper. One of my favourite parts of this painting was the dragon, because in the video game, her dragon form is not this pinky, but I sort of wanted to exaggerate it because I remember reading part of the lore of it was when they were designing the dragon, they wanted it to be based on like cell division, because obviously she mutates, she keeps repairing herself. They wanted the dragon to seem like an excessive version of that. So in tribute to that, I wanted to paint it with fleshy colours, lots of reds, almost like a bleeding and stuff, adds to the kind of the horror. And then the further down into its mouth you get, I start painting it more purpley, because I think it's a really nice way to shade red, but also just makes it look more 3D. And I don't know, I like making things more colourful than they actually are. I think it's nice to treat, just to make it pop. Like for example, Lady D's dress or hair isn't shades of blue and cream, but it's like an exaggeration of what her design could look like. And then I wanted to keep the palette sort of limited, so it's basically pinks and blues. And there's like two colours, when used like this, can really help balance each other out, especially if the reds are more pinky. So what I'm doing the last stage of the painting is adding the white highlights, and it basically makes or break the painting. Like the white highlights, you don't want to do them too much because you can overdo it and it sort of makes the painting look cheap. But if you just do it in the right spots, it really helps make it pop. Like just like the little tiny little notes, like the teeth, the highlights of the hat, the nails, things that you basically want people to look at. That's where you go to. If everywhere has white, you're like, where should I look? Where should I look? And obviously, like the claws, that was the last thing I wanted to do because that's the thing that's closest to us. And yeah, that's it done. Back to the video. And yeah, here she is finished. I do like how it turned out. I feel like ink and watercolour is just a match made in heaven. If you like this painting, I'm gonna put it on Etsy. As well as that, I'm going to put fucking, give me a second.
2 seconds later.
Ta-da! It is giant Lady D and Dragon. This is like a demo version that I did to myself, so this is basically what they look like. I'm going to do a very limited edition batch of these. 30, they're going to be numbered, and each one's going to be hand signed. Yeah, I think they've turned out pretty damn good, to be honest. The colours really pop. I feel awkward having my arm up like this, but I don't know how else to show it. Yeah, I'm going to put them on my Etsy. By the time this video is uploaded, they should be on my Etsy, so feel free to have a snoop. There's going to be some other stuff on there. Support your local comic fiend. I don't know, man. If you like a dragon on your wall, there's only gonna be 30 of these in existence, and because they're so big, they're also gonna be like in tubes, because an A3 size envelope is just gonna be ridiculous. They'll bend, they'll break. These are recyclable. Pretty much all my packaging is biodegradable or recycled paper or recyclable. Most of it is like made out of already recycled stuff, so I like to be eco-friendly. I should mention this more. I just fucking words. It's kind of a big thing for me. I want to put more good out there than bad, and if I can make art and then still be environmentally conscious, I feel like that's the best way to do it, you know what I mean? That is the end of the video. I don't know when I'm going to see you again, but until then, bye! That'll do. That'll do, pig.